industry news to mobile technology leaks and rumors. We cover tomorrow's tech news today. eSIM Tech News.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios. Now, before we get started, let me make this statement. I am not a Cowboys fan. I got this shirt free, and it was the first thing I saw after brushing my teeth and washing my face in my closet. I just grabbed it. I was right before I hit live. I looked down. I was like, "Damn it! They're gonna think I'm a Cowboys fan." So I'm not going out in public. Although I guess this live stream is public, so it's probably worse that I'm on the internet instead of going to the store or something. Of course, I am in Texas. Everybody here is a Cowboys fan. But I got this for free. I'm a Chiefs fan. I know it's against the rules to wear another team's attire, but it is what it is. It was a free shirt. What do you expect? Okay, so this is going to be a quick one. Now, I'm noticing a lot of people are watching the replay. So I've been keeping an eye on my numbers on the live streams. And I'll clip some subjects like from yesterday's live stream. And we'll get through this and we'll get into the subject in just a second. But like from yesterday's live stream, I think I talked about 3 different subjects. I'll basically clip each subject from the live stream and then upload it as a video. So you can either watch the videos that I upload, among other things like case reviews and phone reviews and app reviews and other stuff. But from the live stream, I'll upload them. But if you want to go back and watch the live stream, I think what I'm going to do from now on, just to make it easy for you, the viewer, so you don't have to sit here and watch the background, the fire background until I actually turn my camera on. I think what I'm going to do from now on, if you watch the replay starting today from this one, I'm going to go in when this is done. I'm going to find out like if it's like 2 minutes and 38 seconds into the live stream, go down into the description box below. And I'm gonna do a timestamp where it says start show, and then it'll whatever, and then YouTube makes it easy. All I gotta do is type a time in, and then you go down in the video description and you just select that time. It'll be in blue, like a blue link next to the start show. It'll be in all caps. Just touch that and it'll go directly to start the show, so you don't have to sit there and twiddle your fingers because while it's, even though I'm live, but you see the background and you hear the music, I'm making sure everything is, set up, and I'm on YouTube and all that stuff. And I didn't check my audio today, but I'm pretty sure it's good. So we'll get into it here. I have a question for everybody, and I want to know, I'm kind of concerned, right? So let me check this. We'll get into it here. All right, we're good. So we got Nothing Phone 3 specs. And we have a leaked photo, kind of, and I'm kind of concerned. We'll get into the looks and the aesthetics here shortly, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So I have leaked specs from the Nothing Phone 3. It comes out in about 10 days. I do plan on getting it. And we'll get to my concern here in a minute, but I want you to look at these specs. Now, this is not the complete spec sheet, but it's the specs that most people care about, right? Display, processor, which we already know, memory, camera, stuff like that. Hang on one second. So I told you that the Nothing Phone 3 would have these specs. Do you consider that a quote unquote flagship phone? Would you, if you were going to pay $800 for a phone, would you expect something to have this on there? Give me 1 second. Because what do we got here? So we have a 6.7 inch 1.5K OLED LTPO display. So that's going to be basically It's going to be basically, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Samsung display, so it's going to be basically what you find on a Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, right? It's going to be a S25 Plus or even the S25 Edge, 6.7 inch, 1.5K AMOLED LTPO display. So it'll be a flagship display. It's going to have a triple 50 megapixel rear camera setup. Well, actually a quadruple 50 megapixel camera setup, because on the front-facing selfie camera, you're going to have a 50 megapixel. And you're going to have 350 megapixels on the back. You're going to have a 3 times periscope, 3 times, a 3x periscope 50 megapixel sensor, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 50 megapixel main shooter. And as I mentioned, 50 megapixel on the front. You're also going to have a 5,150 milliamp per hour battery. Now, here's the cool thing. You're going to get 100-watt charging. So you're going to get fast freaking charging. It'll be like OnePlus, where it'll charge in basically, I don't know, 30 minutes. So thank you, Jesus. We'll have that. I'm hoping that stays on there. I'm hoping this is a true spec. Let's see here. What else we got? Wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, right? You can come to expect that. It's going to have NFC and eSIM support, which is nice. As we know, no more beta programs. So this will work on all USA networks. And something the Phone 2 did not have, and even the Phone 3A and 2A, all the previous Nothing phones did not have an eSIM compatibility. I believe the Phone 2 did outside the US, or maybe like in Europe, but in the US, no eSIM. So we will get eSIM support now that it's out of the beta program. It does support all USA carriers. It's going to come in Nothing 3.5, Android 15, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping it would have Android 16 because Android 16 is released. Android 15 has been out for a whole year, right? So it's kind of like, why is it coming out with 15? Now, we are going to get more updates, right? We're going to get, I think it was 5 years of software updates, and 6 years. It was murky on the security patches, the monthly security patches, because one of the co-owners tweeted out 7 years of Android of security patches, although I've also seen 6 years of security patches. So I'm not sure which one we're getting. And then, as we know, Snapdragon 8S Gen 4. Sorry, my cat's trying to jump on my PC, and I'm not trying to have it in the middle of my stream. See, whenever I hit live, shit just hits the fan. I swear to God. It happens every time. What I tell you, every time. Like nothing going on for hours in my office, in my studio. When I hit live, boom. It's like an alarm goes off. They all want to mess with me. So again, we're going to make this quick one. So there are your specs. Are you impressed? Are you not impressed? Would you expect to pay $800 for a phone with those specs? Now, I know that's not everything, right? You still have UFS storage. We believe it's going to be 4.0, right? Because the 8S Gen 4 CPU, I think it's a base 4.0 UFS storage. I don't think it does anything less, because this CPU just came out, so there's no way it would support 3.0. I think we will have UFS 4.0. What else are we missing? What am I missing here? Waterproofing, right? Will it be IP68? Will it be IP69? Like OnePlus, like the OnePlus 13? I doubt it. Probably be IP68. I don't know for sure, but I'm expecting it to be at $800. I think all the other $800 phones are IP68. And then what else? Am I missing anything? Probably am. I just can't think of it at the moment. But let me get into this picture. So I love the way I fell in love with the Nothing Phone 2A. Well, with the Nothing Phone 2, I thought the Nothing Phone 1 was badass. Nothing Phone 2, I really liked it. 2A, I fell in love with. That design. 3A, really nice. I really liked the 3A. And then they came out with the 3A Pro. So now this is all personal preference. I like my phones, and not just phones, but like watches or stuff over here. I'm kind of meticulous with my stuff. I like my designs to look symmetrically even refreshed. I don't like stuff all over the place. So when the Nothing Phone 3A came out, I loved it. It has a bar across the back. When the Nothing Phone 3A Pro came out, I did not love it. They have camera sensors all over the place. Like when you look at the back of the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, what the hell is this? That's like when I saw it, I was like, I'm definitely not getting that one. Just because of the way it looks, right? Could have better specs. I don't care. That's why I love this Pixel. It's a freaking beautiful phone, man. Just symmetrically looks beautiful. Just very nice design. Love this thing. And the S25 Ultra, I mean, it is what it is. I like the squared off design. I really, really do. I like it better than the S24 Ultra, the boxy design. Anyways, again, personal preference. But you see, camera's nice and symmetrical. Camera's nice and symmetrical. Now, Phone 3A Pro, cameras all over the place. They're not even lined up. They're not even like in an L shape. They're just bop, 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 all over the place. What the freak is this? So we got a leaked image of the Nothing Phone 3. Now, it's not the same image. I don't believe it's gonna look like the Phone 3 that we talked about last week. That actually looks really nice. I actually really like the way the Nothing Phone 3 looked, the prototype. And Carl Pei on his last YouTube video, it kind of cleared it up. He said, well, the leak, because he was asked about it, and he said, the Phone 3 that came out basically said it was a prototype that got leaked, meaning that's not it, right? So I was like, damn it, because I really, really liked that Phone 3, what we thought it was, right? Where it kind of looks like a emoji, sideways emoji. You got two eyes, you got the two cameras, and the periscope lens. Well, he said, no, that's not it. So it looks like we might have a blurry but official image, because remember the dot matrix on the back. We thought it was going to be completely on the back of the phone. He said, no, not going to be it. And in that render of the Phone 3 that I liked with that emoji, sideways emoji, that Phone 3 leaked image prototype did not have a dot matrix on the back. And this one will. So nothing leaked out an image of their dot matrix, and it's going to be on the top right corner on the back of the phone, where you can customize it. I'm sure you'll be alerted for notifications, whatever, right? You can program it. So this image came out today, and I'm getting the same feeling that I'm getting with the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, where these sensors are all over the place, and I'm not sure I like it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, what is this? Oh boy. So, I think this might be it. Now, we don't know, but the dot matrix is in the right place. You have the periscope lens on the top left. You got the main sensor staggered off to the bottom right. And then even farther off to the right, you have the ultra wide lens. You got the flash, and you're looking at a phone. So I think that's it. Now, they're not nicely lined up. They're not nice and symmetrical the way I would like it. At least if it was in like an L shape, see what I'm talking about? At least if it was in like an L shape, or I guess an L shape, right? If it was a two dots that were perfectly lined up like this, 1 and 2 on one single line, and then the third camera was off like a 90-degree angle, right? Or like a uppercase L, like that, right? But this one, you got the sensors staggered off to the right, and then you got a third sensor all the way over here. So I don't know, whatever, but this might be it, right? Because you got the dot matrix on the top right, you got your sensors there. Who knows? Now, we will see, obviously, on July 1st when this does get released. But for now, that might be it. That might be the closest thing we have to the real thing. So don't be surprised if it looks similar to this, right? So it is what it is. Now, I think we're going to get two options. I think you're going to get a white. I think you're going to get a black or a dark color, right? dark gray or something. So I don't think they're going to do any vivid colors. But it is what it is. So if you're a Nothing fan, stay tuned to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel, and we will keep you updated. I plan on getting this device, but we will see. We'll just say it'll be up in the air. I think we'll see. I'll just wink on that. We'll see. I think I'm going to get it, but we shall see. But I'm going to definitely keep you up to date with news, everything in regards to the Nothing Phone 3. But before we get out of here real quick, I wanted to show y'all something. Check this out. So when it comes to Apple, Snapdragon, CPUs, there's a little bit of news when it comes to the internet. When it comes to the CPU news. Check this out, and we'll get out of here on this. So let me pull this up on my end. So we got Apple's A19 CPU that's coming in the iPhone. This upcoming iPhone, to focus more on efficiency this year. The tipster is hinting that the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 could be faster, but at the expense of increased battery drain. So those of y'all that are familiar with the channel, I have a love-hate relationship with this year's Snapdragon flagship CPUs, and a love-hate relationship with Samsung Galaxy flagship devices. The traditional the traditional Snapdragon 8 Elite overheats on me. The 7-core that's in the S25 Edge has been perfect. So it looks like Apple, as you know, I think with the release of the iPhone 15 series, remember they dealt with that overheating issue? Well, CPUs were just cranking out a ton of power, way too much power, and they basically had to tone it down with a future update. And I think CPUs are at the point, I'm not necessarily personally concerned with raw power. I just don't want a phone that has any issues, right? I don't game, although I am a heavy multitasker. I do everything on my phone. So I don't necessarily care about raw power. I want efficiency. I want good battery life and efficiency. And I think Apple's on to something, and I wish some of these other companies like Snapdragon would not necessarily worry about the benchmark race and just put out a good product. You don't have to be the fastest CPU out there. You don't have to top each and every benchmark test or score. But I want good battery life, and obviously I want it to handle all of my tasks, right? It's going to have to be powerful, enough to handle everything, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a chart topper, right? You get what I'm saying? I think y'all do. Maybe I'm not portraying my idea well enough, but I think you understand. So I think they're onto something. I want efficiency, good battery life, and I wish Snapdragon would I know they were in the arms race because for freaking 10 or 12 years, Apple has been blowing them away in performance. And I got caught up in that. And just over the past year or two, and probably about a year, 10 to 12 months, I'm like, you know what? I really don't care, because I've had heating issues a lot this last 6 months. And now I'm like, you know what? I don't really care about performance and all that stuff. I mean, obviously, it's a flagship CPU, so the performance should be there. It doesn't have to be the absolute best. But I think Qualcomm got a little carried away with having the very fastest and best performing CPU, because for so many years they got blown away by Apple's Bionic chips. And just this past year was the very first year any Android device benchmarked higher than an iPhone. So we know you can do it, Qualcomm, MediaTek, you're right there. We know you can do it. Just tone it back a bit and give us a little more efficiency, a little more battery life. I don't want my devices overheating. That 7-core Snapdragon 8 Elite is absolutely perfect. If you can continue that with the second generation 8 Elite, you'd get 2 thumbs up for me. So there's nothing worse than getting a hot freaking phone, and I absolutely hate it. Battery life goes down the drain, and it just ruins your whole day. So I think Apple's on the right track, and I wish more CPU manufacturers would take that same cue. Now, Google, they've never been close to the top of benchmark scores. They've never worried about benchmark. Now, maybe we can kind of see why, right? They're more geared towards efficiency. They're more geared towards AI. They're more geared towards the whole experience, right? So maybe they're on the right track, right? Maybe Apple's the one that's going to take a hint from Google with their Tensor chips, and I think Snapdragon does too. I'm not saying take a step way back. I'm just saying tone it down a bit. Like, and I don't even think it's Snapdragon's fault, right? Because the OnePlus 13 has the Snapdragon 8 Elite in there. Totally fine. Don't have any issues with the OnePlus 13 I have. The Galaxy devices. Now, they say CPU, what is it? It's branded as custom or by Galaxy or for Galaxy, Snapdragon for Galaxy. All they do is overclock it. Well, here's a hint, Samsung. Don't overclock it. I think you're overheating these CPUs. I've had 3 S25 Ultras, and they get hot. So just chill out. Chill out a bit. And we're going to leave it at that. I got to run. Appreciate the time. And I should get those cases out this weekend. So if you got one, I will email you. Be on the lookout. And before I get out of here, I'm not a Cowboys fan. And number 2, if you watch the replay, if you're one of those that watch the replay from now on, you can skip the intro. Go down into the video description, and I'll put a timestamp that says start the show in all caps, and you can touch the whatever the time is in the blue font. Touch that, and you go right to the start. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. I gotta run. Appreciate the time. Peace out. Oh, let me say hi. What's up, brother? Thank you, man. Appreciate you joining me. What do you think about the Phone 3? You like it? Or did you see the picture? Possibly the picture? We got this right here. Weird, huh? And then you got specs. Can I add both of them? Let me see. Damn it. So you got that one's the phone, maybe. And you definitely got the specs right here. So, good to see fast charging, but we don't know UFS storage, and we don't know if it's going to be waterproof. But should be, right? All right, I got to get out of here. Peace.